Welcome to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger. Badass Direct Sales Mastery is a podcast for rock star direct sales moms who are determined to make their business kick ass. Jennie will share her knowledge of effective sales and recruiting techniques, tips to get what you want from your business, and will interview direct sales professionals and leaders from various companies. The interviews will give insight to how these rock stars got to where they are and where they plan to grow in the future. And now, the direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger.
Welcome back to another episode of Badass Direct Sales Mastery. I'm your host, your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger, helping you whip your business into shape. Today's episode is all about building a team that grows itself. And I wanted to share this information with you because this is something that I have been sharing with my coaching clients for years now. And it is also information that I use to help build my own organization when I was in my direct sales business over a decade ago. So what I want to start out by sharing with you, depending on where you are in your growth journey, is that there are a lot of people in our industry who get this one thing wrong when it comes to team growth. And that is they believe that it is their job to duplicate themselves. But their definition of duplication is get someone else on the team. And that's not duplicating yourself. Duplicating yourself is by truly finding someone who is doing this, who has the same level of commitment and activity level in order to build and grow their own business. That includes making sure that they are training themselves, putting themselves in motivational situations where they can get inspired to take action in their business, that they are doing what it takes to grow their network, meet new people, get out there and get sales of product. Thirdly, they need to be going out and recruiting other people who are also committed to their business, willing to sell and recruit, and then teach them to do the same. It's not until you get to that second level of people who are growing themselves, growing their sales, and growing their team have you truly duplicated yourself. And so that is the one big aha moment that a lot of my coaching clients have when it comes to team growth, is to find the people who are like that. So if you listened to last week's episode, you got introduced to the guide to find your next rockstar team member. If you want to find more rock stars, go grab that guide and then actually open it. Don't just download it to your phone or your computer, but actually open it, read it, and use the tools that are in there, because they will help you move to that next level of duplication. And then you get your team member to go download the Rockstar Guide and have them use it. And then have them share that with their person and have them open it and read it, because as you can see, rock stars will continue to share with rock stars who will continue to share with rock stars. That's super important if you want a team that actually grows itself. Now, team growth is not about pushing harder. Great leaders do not push, they inspire. So let me share with you a few different ways that you can actually begin to inspire the people who are on your team. And right now, if you're thinking to yourself, but I don't have a team, well, that's your first problem. That's your first problem. You believe that you don't have a team. If you don't have anyone else who's doing this with you, you are the team, and it's time to inspire yourself. So here's some things that you can do to help inspire yourself, and as you grow and get others on your team, help inspire them. So it starts with number one, which is sharing transformational stories, not just success stories, not just like, oh, look at this person who's doing $1 million a year. That's a success story. It's the transformational story is what happens when you take that person who's making $1 million a year and you dig into their entire journey because they didn't start out making $1 million a year. People need to be able to see themselves in the success story, in that transformational journey as the person who is the flawed human being that they are, because we all are. Even the $1 million earner is a flawed human being. They are not perfect. They just succeeded in spite of their flaws. And in many cases, sometimes because of them, but share those transformational stories. Share the story about the people, the real people who went from being stuck to being shining rock stars. What did that journey look like? What happened along the way? Where were they? What did they do? What inspired them? What actions did those transformational people take? What did they do in order to move from being not where they wanted to be to being in this amazing place now? What was that metamorphosis like from caterpillar to butterfly? Tell the entire story, not just the, ooh, look at the pretty butterfly. Okay. What you want to be doing is really understand what that story looks like. Because let me tell you, I've got to be real. I remind myself each and every day when I look at my Facebook memories and see those posts from back in the day when I was still active in my network marketing business, where I was sharing all the things and posting all the things that I now tell my clients not to do. Well, how did I get there? How did I get from, posting these awful posts and still succeeding anyway? Because I learned that those posts didn't work, right? Those posts did not sell more. Those posts did not encourage people to join my team. They were just straight up content that most people ignored. They have almost no likes, no comments, and definitely no shares. Nobody is sharing that information because it's all product based. But over time, I learned what kind of posts are engaging that draws people in to participate in a conversation happening socially. So over time, that allowed me to begin to bring people into my business world, people who wanted to purchase jewelry, who wanted to host a party, who wanted to join my team. But it took time and it took me going through those steps of what not to do and learning what would work and not giving up, despite the fact that I had things that were not building my business. I was doing things that were not building my business, and yet I continued to work the business anyway until I figured out what did work. The second thing to help you grow a team that builds itself is make sure that they understand that recruiting is a gift. It's not something that they have to do. It's not another thing on your to-do list. By offering the business opportunity, what you're really doing is offering something that could be a saving grace for another human being. If you've listened to the podcast enough, you've probably heard my story about the woman that I brought onto my team who was able to get out of a dangerous marriage for herself and her daughters because of her business with the jewelry company I was with. She didn't stay with the jewelry company forever and ever, amen. It fulfilled the role that she needed it to in order to get out safely and move on to the next step of her life's journey. And if I hadn't made that offered up the opportunity to look at what this could do for her, she'd possibly still be stuck in that marriage or worse, which I'm so glad that's not what it came to. So keep in mind that the activities involved with recruiting offer freedom and connection and growth for other humans who want more. Interestingly enough, in the past week, an old 90s country song has come up in my head multiple times, and it's doing it again right now, which is there's a song by Reba McEntire called Is There Life Out There? And I truly believe that there are women out there who are asking themselves, and men too, is there life out there? Is there more out there than what I'm currently experiencing? And if you can find those people who are asking that question, and this is a good fit for them to do more in life, get more out of life, then who are you to not make that offer or opportunity for them and help them? If you're a leader who is looking to grow a team that builds itself, then it helps if you can create a team challenge or a social game around recruiting. So I used to regularly do something called the Go Giver Challenge. We use the Go Giver principles of focusing on the activity, doing the things such as, you know, doing an invitation every day, every single day, find someone to offer the opportunity to who you think would be a great fit on your team, right? This isn't offering to everybody. It's offering to someone who you think could really benefit from the business and who has an interest in doing something outside of what they are doing in their own life right now. You could do recruiting bingo, make the offer to all of these kind of types of people that helps jog the memory of your team members so that they have a little game of people that they can, go talk to in their life or go find someone who fits that. There are so many opportunities out there. And in this case, the point is to focus on the activity, not the results. Focus on the activity, not the results. Practice the conversation of offering the opportunity, not focusing on did they join or not? Did they say yes or not? Because the more times that your team members are out there having those types of conversations, the more likely they are to continue having those conversations because they realize, A, guess what? They didn't die when someone told them no. It's not the end of the world. They're not saying no to you as a human being. They're saying no to the opportunity. It's not a fit for them. Great. Continue to move on and find the next person. Another way that you can inspire more team growth from a team that actually builds itself is to celebrate effort loudly and publicly. Many people who come into our industry because they see people getting recognition, awards, applause, and this is something that they don't get in their regular everyday life. As my mentor Virginia has said many times, we don't often get a round of applause for sitting dinner on the table, right? We don't get applause for doing the things that are expected of us at in our everyday job. There's very few jobs out there that really practice recognition the way that we do in direct sales, network marketing, and MLM. You've got to make sure that you are reaching out, shouting out to the people who are having conversations, even if they haven't enrolled anyone yet. If they're sharing with you that they had 5 conversations this week and last week they had none, or last week they only had 1 and they had more conversations this week than last week, shout them out at the team meeting, right? Give recognition for the activity, not just for the result. Reward the behavior that you want to see. Now, of course, we all love when people grow their teams, but they can't grow their teams if they're not having the conversations. Reward the conversations, right? Make sure you normalize the process of all of this because people don't want to just be recognized. And certainly, you're going to have more people having conversations if they're being recognized for the activity. But of course, they have to share with you that they're doing the activity. So find a way to get them to share with you the activity. That's where the game comes in play. So go back to the previous tip because they have to be able to share with you, hey, I talked to a redhead today. Right? Make sure when you are talking about growing a team, and especially each person who is on your team, growing their team, that you are sharing your personal why and have them share with you what theirs is. Now, here's the thing most people don't truly understand what their why is. They have a very logical why, but it is not connected to what is going on here in their heart, in their center, in their soul. And that's why they aren't all as willing to do things that feel uncomfortable. Because when we are connected to what is happening here in our heart and our soul, we are willing to take bigger steps that are further outside of our comfort zone. We're willing to take baby steps outside of our comfort zone. So, what you want to be doing is finding out what is their why and get to the heart of their why. In our industry, you'll often hear people talking about the why that makes them cry. They don't always cry, but there is a physical reaction when you really hit the heart of their why. So, be asking them on the regular, what would change in your life if you had a team of 10 active builders? What would change in your life if you were inspiring 10 other humans to build and grow the way you are right now? What would happen in your life if your kids saw you doing this the whole time? It's quite inspiring for people to think about those things if that's in line with their why. I think it's very important to regularly be talking about this. And that means that you, as a leader, also need to know your why and what the heart of your why is, the soul of your why you do the business, and have it out there. Be willing to cry and be vulnerable in front of your team, because if you can't dig into the heart of your why and share it with them, they're not going to be as connected or willing to share theirs. So be willing to be out there and sharing it all the time, because then that inspires people to want to find theirs. They go, man, I don't know why I would be doing that business, but who do I want the passion that she's got? If you want to help build a team that actually builds itself, then use visualization or guided meditations, right? Not only for yourself, but for your team members. Walk them through the process, help them feel the win, help them feel what it's like to be on the other side of the discomfort. Help them feel what it's like, because that will get them through those difficult conversations and get them off the couch and out of the scroll so that they do the things that they need to do in order to build and grow themselves and grow their team. And make sure that you have inspiration in that guided meditation and visualization. It shouldn't just be a logical visualization or guided meditation. Another way to inspire, another way to inspire a team that builds and grows itself is to model the behavior that you want to see. Your team watches what you do more than what you say. So, this is something that John Maxwell calls the law of the lid. The leader is oftentimes the lid of the team, meaning 99.99% of your team members will not do more than you do. So if you want more out of your team members, guess what? You get to do more. So are you sharing with them about the conversations you're having, the good and the bad, not just the yeses, but sharing with them, hey guys, I had another no today, but I know who I'm talking to tomorrow. And I'm excited to see how that conversation goes. Because for every no that they get, that brings them closer to a yes. And that is true for you too. And when you can share that with people, they're excited. So make sure you are also sharing and celebrating your own behaviors, wins, activity. You've got to be doing the activity you want them to do. You can't ask them to do what you yourself are not willing to do in order to build and grow your business, your team, and take them along the way, right? Take them along the way. One of the most powerful things I used to do with my team was we would go meet at the local Panera, and this would be one-on-one. This was not as a group, right? This would be one-on-one. And I would have them share with me, have them practice with me. We'd role play what that conversation could look like. I'd have them role play doing their demonstration of the jewelry. So, hey, show me what it is that you're doing at parties. Don't show me what you think you should be doing. Show me what you're actually doing and saying. And you know what would happen? We'd pull out the jewelry, we'd be doing the thing, and somebody next to us would be like, "Wait, so what's this jewelry? What's this business opportunity? What's it, how could I get involved with that?" By role playing and getting out there and modeling that for my team member, we often then were able to get a new customer, get a new hostess, or get a new team member. It was amazing to see that happen. So hopefully you're out there showing your people what to do and how to do it. Role model those things with them. And the final tip that I have for you about how to inspire a team that grows itself is make sure you're inviting people, not instructing. Instead of saying you should be recruiting, try, if you're ready to grow, I've got some tools that can help. Or I'm hosting a 15-minute invitation to the opportunity today. Do you want in? Right? In some companies, they call it a blitz, right? That we're going to go take 15 minutes to invite people to a conversation, whatever it may be, right? Because keep in mind, nobody likes to be pushed, but everyone wants to feel invited and included. So invite people to participate, have events that allow people to come in and hear these transformational stories, participate in the activity, watch you role model what you want to see from your team members. It's a brilliant way to be able to grow a team that builds itself is through invitation. Don't tell, invite, show how to do it. Because it's so much more powerful because they're watching everything that you do, just like kids. They're watching everything that you do and they're modeling what they see. Now, there are three levels, three types of team growth that happen. And so I want to share with you what those are because the people who haven't started doing those inspirational things that I just shared with you are at level 1. They are a solo seller, what I talked about earlier. So they are the boss, the brand, the closer, and the customer service rep. If this happens to be you, you're making decent sales, usually from people who already know and trust you, and you're probably exhausted from doing it all yourself. You might have one or two people on your team, and I'm putting air quotes around that for those of you who are listening instead of watching on YouTube. But let's be real. They're really just customers with a discount. They're not actually out there selling to other people. They're just maybe utilizing their business to buy the product at a discount. They're not really a business builder. So you're not really building a business yet. You've just built another job for yourself. So the mindset of people who are in that is if I want it done right, I have to do it myself. Yes, and there's other people who can do it. They can do it differently and be able to still sell and recruit. They don't have to do it like you. Another thought that often happens to people who are in the solo seller mode is that it's easier to sell products than teach people. Teaching, training, leading is another version of sales. It's another version of influence. So oftentimes the person who is at the level of solo seller, they have a fear of leadership because they're afraid that if I teach people, if I tell people, they won't do what I say to do. You are absolutely right. But if you go back and listen to those 8 different tips that I gave on inspiring people, inspiring customers, inspiring people on your team to take the next step, inviting them, then leadership becomes so much easier. And really, oftentimes the solo seller does not know how to transition into a team mindset and see what actually can actually help move others forward. So, if you are someone who is currently sitting in the solo seller mindset, what you want to be doing is learn how to recruit with confidence and shift from selling alone to mentoring others. Keep in mind, you don't have to have success, and I'm putting air quotes around that. You don't have to have success, like wild success, even mild success is enough for other people to want to follow you. You just have to be further down the path than they are to be able to show them the way. You are just the guide helping them. So people who have begun to do that and have begun to bring people, others in, they've turned into the level 2 of a team growth leader, which is the super recruiter. So if this is you, you listen carefully. This might be you if you've learned how to bring people in, you're having conversations, you're hearing a few yeses, and your team is growing on paper. But you are still the engine of the entire machine. Your new recruits don't stick or they're not moving. You feel like you're dragging your team behind you with a rope. And dude, your arms are tired. And the thoughts that happen in the super recruiter mind are, why don't they just do what I did? Or I can recruit them, but they won't do anything unless I'm holding their hand. Right? So the biggest challenge in this case is that duplication. You haven't been looking for or recruiting people who are like you. You've been recruiting anybody and everybody. You're attracting people, but you haven't learned to attract the people who are like you, the rock star who does the thing. You've got to be having conversations and finding out whether or not they get the opportunity, and I mean like understand the opportunity that is in front of them, that they want the opportunity, and that they have capacity. This is what my mentor Victor says. Do they have the GWC factor? Do they get it? Do they want it? Do they have capacity to do it? So when you can begin to have those conversations, that duplication is much more likely to occur so that you can attract in people who are like you, because rock stars are attracted to rock stars, right? Other people are attracted to rock stars, but you've got to be a rock star in order to attract that. So in order to move from that super recruiter to the next level, now it's a matter of beginning to master leadership concepts, improve your communication skills, and have systems that empower others invite others to take initiative. So now the next level is as somebody learns to go from being super recruiter to the next level is empowered builder. So if what I'm about to say describes you, you are in level 3. Congratulations. Welcome to the empowered builder side. So here is what an empowered builder does. They build a team that builds without them. They've got leaders leading, new people are enrolling, and they are working on their business, not constantly in their business. They are coaching, they are casting visions with people, they are supporting their top people like a true CEO. Because here's the thing, an empowered builder does not run an organization of 1,000 or 2,000 or 10,000 or 30,000 or 100,000 people. They are working with their top leaders who work with their top leaders who work with their top leaders. And the empowered builder is starting to feel like what true freedom in this business actually looks like and feels like. They are experiencing it right now. And their mindset is the thoughts that an empowered builder has are, how can I grow my leaders? How can I grow my leaders? Right? The other belief system they have is, I'm not the star, I'm building stars. Right? Help more people get recognized, help more people earn the trip, help more people earn the car, help more people grow their team, help more people earn the promotion, the next rank, the next bonus, whatever it may be. Now, empowered leaders, what they've done is they've begun to let go of old habits that no longer serve them. They stay focused on vision and culture of the organization that they are building. And the thing they have to watch out for is avoiding burnout and avoiding loneliness, because it really can be lonely at the top. So making sure that you are working with other empowered builders, being around other empowered builders will help you be able to maintain that in your own business and organization. So what moves an empowered builder forward, because there are levels within levels of the empowered builder, but that's a whole other thing. So, empowered builders do high level leadership development. They get into the strategies and they build a solid leadership bench of players. So, they have lots of leaders that they are building on their team. So, a fantastic, for example, football coach doesn't just have an amazing quarterback. They have an amazing quarterback. They have an amazing leader of receivers. They have an amazing offensive line leader. They have an amazing defensive line leader. They are building multiple leaders on the team in order to build the entire team up to become an award-winning team. So, no matter which level you are sitting at right now, if you are ready to move forward and get better, then I invite you to a complimentary coaching session with me. I open a few 30-minute time slots each week to offer complimentary coaching to people just like you. These 30 minutes are spent focused on you, your business, and your goals. There's no sales pitch, just straight coaching to help you. So grab your time slot now by going to talkwithjennieb.com today. Again, that's talkwithjennieb.com. So if you're listening, click on the link in the show notes. If you're watching on YouTube, click on the description of the video. You'll see the link there with the correct spelling of Jennie, Jennie, because yes, I'm that weirdo. I know you're shocked. I have purple hair and tattoos, and I spell my name not the normal way. So make sure you go to talkwithjennieb.com today to grab one of those slots, because there's only a few each week. Make sure you grab yours so that we can move you from where you are to where you want to be. And rock stars, badass crew, stay tuned because you know how this goes. There's another badass episode on its way.
Thanks for listening to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jennie Bellinger. Why are you waiting to go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com? Don't make the dom get her whip. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with another rock star that you know in direct sales after you subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss any future episodes. You can also check out the show notes for links and any contact information mentioned in today's episode. We'll see you next time.